Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time you pick this up. This is Coast to Coast. We are here every Wednesday. Supposed to be at 9, but we're a few minutes late today. I apologize. It's on me. Um, how are you today, Beyond?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Just still trying to get over Sunday night, but we tread forward, right? So how are you doing?
Right. I'm good, man. I'm glad you brought that up, and we'll get right into it. Uh, the Buffalo Bills lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a one-score game. I think we all predicted that. I think most of us predicted that. I thought that the game would be about 8 points of difference. I believe I picked like 8 points. I think it was something like that. But um,
Hmm.
at no point during that game, even down 21-7, did I feel like we couldn't compete. There was no point in that game that I felt like, wow, the Buffalo Bills really shouldn't be on the same field with the Cincinnati Bengals. Like they just outclass us. They have a decided advantage over our defense with their offensive weapons. However, I think the same can be said for us. And I think that the game decision, the outcome of the game came down to um, their coaches being able to take advantage of the offensive uh, advantage they had over our defense, and our coaching staff not being able to take advantage of our offensive advantage over their defense. So where are we at now? 5-4, um, and headed into a big game against Denver. Beyond, what are your thoughts on this weekend's events, Sunday Night Football?
Well, one of the keys to the game, we heard it all week. The Bengals are 20-2 since 2020 when they get a lead. To come out of the gate, and when we lost the coin toss, and the Bengals came right down the field, that plays into Cincinnati strengths, right? They're a team that is very comfortable playing from ahead. That's where Lou Amarumo and his defense do his best work. As we saw, they create turnovers, like we talked about last week. As our two co-host, our Cincinnati compadres eloquently told us last week, it's kind of how it played out, right? And while the defense was valiant, we lost field position, and all those things together just kind of set it up for. Even though I agreed with you, we were in that game, and I thought we had a chance. Just that start to the game, I really think we need to take that coin. I was hoping we win the coin toss and take it right down, get that 7-0 lead, maybe even get up 14-7. I think it would have played into our hands. Because the last two times we played the Bengals, they had a 14-0 lead and we're up 14-7. And that's a recipe for that's a real tough trek against this Bengal team.
I agree. One of the toughest things about being a fan of this particular team, this roster, is that we never get to see this roster in at its full strength go up against some of the bigger opponents that we have to face: the Kansas Cities, the Philadelphias, the San Franciscos, the Dallas Cowboys. Like we don't get to see that. Um, and it stinks, man, because I think this unit, I think this unit's really good. Um, when it's full strength. But
Mhm.
we weren't able to be, and even though we weren't able to, like you said, the defense was valiant. They stood up, they stood tall as long as they possibly could. Bad field position, I mean, they were getting the ball at the 40-yard line. I mean, two first downs and you're in field goal range. So, you know,
Mhm.
to only give up 21 with how poorly we executed offensively in the first half was a small feat of the stuff that miracles are made of. Um,
Mhm.
so first and foremost, Sean McDermott, hats off to you. You're doing a damn good job as the head coach of this football team and taking on the defensive coordinator duties. I think you're doing a great job. I hate that you blitzed as much as you did. Um, because of how good the pass rush has been, I wish he would have just trusted his coverage a little bit more. I get it, you know, when Bernard went down with the injury, that kind of messes us up over the middle of the field. Um, you're already dealing with a depleted roster. It's tough. It's very, very,
Mhm.
very tough. But sometimes you have to have faith. And I felt like after the first couple of, after the first couple of plays where you blitzed and it just kind of didn't work, trust the coverage at that point.
Mhm.
We did a very good job of stopping the run, which is something that I said, was something that I think we all said was the key to winning the game. Got to stop the run. We stopped the run, and the next thing was get to Joe Burrow. We didn't, and Joe Burrow hurt us for it. 350 yards. I believe it was two touchdowns in the air, and then he had a couple. There were a couple on the ground. Um, Tough, man. Tough, tough, tough loss.
Mhm.
Tough loss. Um, I what so if you had to go back and analyze the game beyond, where would you say you would have liked to where do you point to and say, man, if we could have did this better, we could have won this game.
I still think, we spoke about it early in the season, right? 12, all the talk about 12 personnel, trying to run the football a little bit more effectively. I mean, where in the world is James Cook these days? Yeah, I mean, he's not getting the ball that often. One of the big keys, if you look at our slump over the past month, with the exception of the Giants game, he ran pretty well in the Giants game. He was solid. We haven't seen James Cook be the James Cook we saw early in the season, which balanced out our offense. I mean, granted, we saw Josh run a little bit more this game, but that can't be the number one component of our rushing. That has to be part of it, right? That extends drives, that it's that backbreaking play that gets the defense keeps the defense on their heels. So that's one thing I thought we could have done better, especially to help out our defense, right? Well, I mean, you said the depleted roster, right? Just a lack of confident of just healthy bodies, right? Guys getting hurt, nicked up, all the players we had out. I mean, their effort was valiant, but they could only do so much. And we held them to 24 points despite all that, right? So I think if we had ran the ball better and maybe kept Burrow off the field a little bit, that's just one thing I would have liked to see the Bills do a lot better in this game. Just as one thing that really sticks out. We have to get back to getting James Cook involved. We need, again, we're not going to see 130-yard games, 150-yard games that often out of Cook, but we need 70. We need 15 carries, 70 yards. We need something like that. We got to keep these defenses honest and really just play and get better field position too. And those things really hurt us in this game.
Right. Um, One of the things we talked about was being multiple, right? Not necessarily doing just one thing, being able to function and flow with both. And we did not do that. Uh 6 carries for James Cook, 2 carries for Latavius Murray, one design run for Josh Allen. Dorsey dialed up 9 run plays against a team who who has not been good at stopping the run.
Mhm.
The 3 games that they lost this year were against teams that ran the football for plus 130 yards, and we ran the ball 9 times. We used Gabe Davis within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, quick hit routes where when the ball is hiked, Gabe takes 2 steps, turns, shows his numbers. Josh puts it on him, catches it, turns upfield, make a guy tackle you. You're 6'2", 230, 228, whatever. Um, and if they're gonna play off coverage, if I'm Dorsey, that's like the easy check. That's like one of the easy checks at the line. As soon as you see them bail in coverage, you know what it is. You know what you should be doing. We
Mhm.
didn't see it. One of my biggest complaints, and I'm not gonna get into that yet. I did watch a little bit of the All 22.
Mhm.
I didn't finish it all because honestly, it's just like, bro, you know, there's sometimes you say, man, I wish, you know what, I'd rather get the doors blown off. So I knew that I never stood a chance than to lose a game where you feel like you could have won, but you played poorly, and you know that because you played poorly, you robbed yourself of a chance to win. That's how I feel about this game.
Yeah, it's just frustrating because we just played right into their hands. That's how I felt, and that comes back to, yeah, we got to, again. We don't want to sit here and just blame one person, because we know it's not just one person's fault, right? I mean, but
No,
Ken, Kenneth Simon Dorsey is one
yeah,
person that does come to mind,
yeah,
as someone we'll get into later. But eh, it's just, we have to start stronger. We have to be more balanced. There's, I mean, okay, the Dalton Kincaid fumble, that was a big play, right? I'm not, again, I'm
huge.
not gonna, he's been much better the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm not gonna completely, get on him too much, but he's got to not try any Josh Allen type leaps. I don't know if Josh has been influencing him, but just get that out of his mind. Just do not do that again, please. So again, it was also a good play by the defenseman on the guy on the Bengals, but
Yeah,
still,
Jermaine Pratt.
he, Jermaine Pratt. Thank you. I
Hmm.
was drawing a blank. So that was a huge part of the game too. That could have really flipped this game. So we have to stop making things so difficult on ourselves. And we're scoring late, right? We're get this game to 6 points, great, but our margin for error at that point was so slim, we had to stop them, and boom, they get that long pass, and it was just good night at that point. So just a very frustrating loss. I mean, it's weird, Whittle. The only thing I still could think about after that game was the loss to New England. Because if we looked at our schedule, right, would we really been surprised if we lost this game? Probably not. Let's have an honest moment here, right? But just when you couple that with what's been happening the last month, and just to me, that unacceptable loss in New England just looms large. If we're 6-3 right now, okay, we're not feeling great after losing to the Bengals, but we're still in a pretty good spot. We're sitting in first place right now, right? And then we got Denver, the Jets, the next 2 weeks. And if we get to 8-3, we're like, okay, we're in good shape, right? We can start getting
Right.
thinking about, you know, maybe we can let guys sit a little bit longer, right? Or maybe if guys are just nicked up, right, we can have them heal, just get ready for the stretch run. But now the margin for error has just been lessened so much because of losses like that. So, and even week one, which we've talked about ad nauseum, but those things just add up. That's why every game is so important. But then now we have, this is, if you would have told me this game Monday night was going to be a must win, I would have thought you were crazy before the season started. But here we are.
Yeah. Just it's the inconsistency on offense is killing us. Um, the defense is being held together by rubber bands and duct tape at this point, and they're still giving up like less than 30 points a game. They're giving up like 20, 24. I mean, we gave up 29 to the Patriots, but outside of that, I mean, the Giants didn't score a touchdown. They didn't get in the end zone. Just field goals. Um, we held the Bengals to 24 points when I feel like they should have had 38. Um,
Mm-hmm.
against the Bucks, like, I mean, they that game never felt like it was out of hand or out of our
Yeah.
control.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the offense, man. If the offense could help us out a little bit, just
Mm-hmm.
put some points up, man. So going into this game, we're playing against Denver. Denver statistically and record wise one of the worst teams in the NFL defensively and offensively. I think they're putting up some decent numbers. Like they're all right. They just beat the Chiefs. Um, so we got Denver in our building Monday night. It should be like that's one of those games that you pencil in. He's like, that's a dub, man. We always kill Denver, right? I don't know now. I
Mhm.
don't know because I don't know what offense
Well,
I'm gonna get.
you know what? Just to circle this back to Denver, right? You look at their last 4 games. They did lose to the Jets 31-21, right? They only lost to Kansas City 19-8 in Kansas City, beat them 24-9, and beat Green Bay 19-17. So they have been playing much better over the last month, right? And
Right.
let me throw these numbers at you. 8 games, 66% completion, 1,600 passing yards, 16 TDs, and 4 picks for Russell Wilson. He's
Wow.
having a pretty nice year. Like you
Yes.
look at his numbers, you're like, I know a lot of listen, I know Russell Wilson's taken a lot of criticism over the last couple of years for a lot of
Hmm.
different reasons. His weird antics on plane flights to London, things like that, right? But he's been very, very good this year, very quietly. So, and it's not like he's just getting it all in garbage time either. So,
Right.
this I agree with. I feel the same way you do right now. It's normally you think, oh, we're going to blow the doors off this game, and you're thinking, oh, it's 11:30 at night. I'm ready to go to bed. This game's over, but we may be on the edge of our seat for this game, which we'll get into later. But yeah, I just think it should be noted that Russell Wilson has had a pretty solid year, and say what you want about their head coach Sean Payton. He's a good offensive mind, and they still got good weapons, and we're shorthanded on defense. So
He's
again,
turned it
the
around
onus is
already.
yeah, yes,
Like
on
they're
that
they're
side of the ball,
already
yes.
winning. They're already winning big games. Like they just beat the
Hmm.
Chiefs.
Hmm.
I
Absolutely.
just
So
yeah. I don't know, man. So the state of this team. You ready to get into it?
let's go. I got a lot of questions, and I need from you. Need a lot of answers.
At the beginning of this season, man, it started off so great.
Look,
The offense was like, oh, Josh is throwing interceptions like crazy. But you know what? The short, quick game, it's really working, right? Something to build on. We know we can go deep. So the short, quick game is something that we wanted to do to maintain long drives. So it was working. Great. 12 personnel looks good. Great. It's all awesome. The defense was stifling. Stifling. And after the Jets game, excuse me, we went and played the Raiders, blew them away. Played the Commanders in Washington, annihilated them. Then we welcome in the most prolific offense. Oh my God, how are you going to stop it in Miami? And absolutely destroyed them. Um, Went over to England to Jacksonville, and that's when the season started to fall off the rails. Right, you lose Trey White against Miami. First quarter, first quarter of the Jags game in London, you lose Milano, you lose Daquan Jones. Milano is the Swiss Army knife of this defense. Like he was the most dangerous piece that we had on the board. He's like the queen in chess,
mhm.
and we lost our queen immediately, and that just rocked the defense. Um, so the offense is healthy. There is no excuse for what we're doing as far as putting up points now against the Jaguars. We what do we have, three going into like the fourth quarter or something crazy like that.
Mhm.
Um, Against the Giants, you know, we beat them by what? What did we beat them by, a point or something like that?
14-9. Yeah, 14
14.
to 9. 14 points, and we put them up in the second half.
Yeah. Um, Tampa Bay. I mean, we lose to the Patriots because the offense can't figure out how to sustain drives until the second half. Um, and then we looked good against the Bucks. I felt like the offense looked good against the Bucks. And I said, okay,
Mhm.
well, now we're getting somewhere because we're changing the way we're using certain players. Davis is getting the ball, Shakir's getting the ball, Kincaid's getting the ball. Diggs is there. We're running the football with James Cook. We're running the football with Latavius Murray. All right, cool. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe Ken Dorsey figured it out. And we were wrong. I thought that he had figured it out. I was wrong. Uh Going into this game against the Bengals, I say to myself, you know what? We just got to if we can get to 31, I think it's over. I think once we get over 30 against this team, I think it's over. I think it's over.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the Bengals have blown the doors off of our defense, right? Even with the shortcomings we've had both times we played them. I know Daquan Jones in both those games, right?
Mhm.
Now, no Matt Milano, no Trey White, and we're still holding them in check. So I agree with you. The honest to me really is squarely in the offense right now. And Whittle, just the inconsistencies in game. I mean, think about the first drive, right? And then the second drive, they come out and it looks completely different. Just I'm talking about scheme wise, just the way they're designing plays and stuff. Like what? Like, I'm sitting there just shaking my head, and then they're calling like flea flickers at the Bengals 30-yard line or 35-yard line. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, what? Again, I am not an expert play caller, Will. Like, you forget more about play calling than I know. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what is he just out thinking himself, Whittle, or is he not scheming enough? Is it a scheme problem? Is it just route concepts they're running? Like what's going on with this offense right now?
I don't know, man. I mean, I wish I had an answer for you. I wish I had a good answer. I don't know. I don't know. Um,
And you know what the
it's
crazy part is? The offensive line has been resolved in a lot of ways this year. And yet
right,
it's getting worse. So what's going on? Like, we really solved a lot of those issues thinking, okay, we can run the ball more. I just don't know if they really
right,
have to me, Whittle, it's like they don't really know what their true identity. They're kind of fighting what they did in the past, and they're still fighting things they want to do in the future. That's how I, in a basic concept, see what's going on here right now.
right. So I'll start. I'll go from top to bottom. My biggest problem,
Sure.
number one, with I think that let me go this route first. Josh Allen has to stop making stupid mistakes. He's making dumb mistakes. There are some throws that Josh takes that he should not take at all. The play where he throws the interception to Cam Taylor Britt. If you wait and you use your eyes and you focus, like, dude, you can see that the corner is carrying the deep route from an underneath position. You can see it. And you had other guys open, Josh. Take the 5 yards, bro. Diggs was right there, 5 yards. He catches it, he turns upfield. Cam Taylor closes. Boom, you got a 5 to 6, maybe 7 yard game. And it was second down. You live for another play, man. Just live for another play. Um, with that being said, Ken Dorsey has to do a better job of his play design. Ken Dorsey has to do a better job of utilizing the players that we have on his roster and putting them in positions where they're most advantageous, like they're going to be in their most advantageous state or position. Deontay Hardy is 5'7", 165 pounds. Bro, stop sending him on deep routes. Stop
Thank
sending
you.
him down the field like he is Tyreek Hill. He's not.
Mm-mm.
He's not Deshaun Jackson.
Mhm.
He's not Hollywood Brown. He's not even Compton Brown. Don't send him down the field anymore on these nine routes against bigger corners who can run with him. The guy has a 40 time, a 4.45 at his combine.
Mhm.
That is average. Your average corner runs a 4.5, and your average corner is about 5'11. So maybe 6 feet at this point, the way the league is going.
Yes.
So 5'6", 4.45, 6 feet. That's about 5 inches more. Long arms, long legs. Running 4.5. Bro, you're not separating from him. Dorsey has to do a better job of paying attention to what the mismatches are between the defenders and his offensive weapons and exploiting it. If you have a guy like Deontay Hardy who can get down the field in a hurry, right? He can get down the field in a hurry. He's not a speeder. He's not a burner, but he can get down the field. If you see a Woozier on him who has returned from an ACL repair, and this is, he's trying to get his feet back under him. The ACL does not. The ACL, I mean, it doesn't really limit what you do going north south, but east west,
Mhm.
whoo, baby, them knees. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
it's different. It's different than I tore my ACL. Trust me, it's different trying to change direction and explode. You don't trust it. So that is where, personally, I would have liked to see Dorsey attack the Bengals. You could have sent Deontay Hardy on a deep in route. You say, listen, get him behind the safeties, run this about 20, 25 yards, and then stop and cut across the field. Go as hard as you can. Josh, when you see him break, hit him. It's going to be a huge play. What happens? Nothing. None of what I just said. Uh, Josh has to take better care of the football. The interception was just a dumb throw. And then those are the chances that I don't want him to take, right?
Mhm.
Because it's a bad. It's bad. But then he'll not take the chances that I want him to take. So my biggest problem will go to the trick play, right? The
Sure.
end around, flea flicker, whatever. Out of here, Dorsey, idiot. We'll go to that. And when this season, Beyond, have you seen us run a jet sweep? What was it? Week one.
Week 1, maybe. Yeah. That it's that was
That's
a
it.
pretty yeah, I mean, that was pretty common, a couple of years ago, right? At least once a game or at least once every other week, right? It
Yeah,
was something that we had in
yeah,
our offense. And why aren't we running these things? Why
yeah.
aren't we yeah, it feels like it's just such a vanilla offense right now, right? And there's not a lot of motion, not a lot of creativity, except for
Mhm.
there's certain moments when we've seen it, right? Like the
Right,
way we use Gabe Davis against Tampa Bay as an example, right?
right.
Where did that go
Yep.
Sunday? Well, we'll get into him in a bit, right? But
Yeah.
it's like and it just goes away. I don't understand. Like, are they over? Do you think they're putting too much on Josh? The whole we had this whole narrative, right? They wanted to limit Josh, keep him more in the pocket. Do you think he's thinking
Mhm.
too much right now? Well, because remember what we
No, I
talked
don't think
about?
so.
No,
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think this is a I don't think this is a Josh attitude problem. I don't think it's that at all. It's a Josh arm arrogance problem. sometimes.
Mhm.
That throw he took that he made for that was intercepted. That should have never been thrown. But then when you get an opportunity on the trick play that we never ran anything all year to set up to actually fool the defense, um, there was an opportunity to make a play there, right? So Diggs is running about 30 yards down the field, and then he's turns in, back towards the middle of the field coming from the right side. And CJ just missed CJ, Jesus. Josh just missed him. Josh,
Mhm.
like I'm looking at Josh and I'm saying, dude, this is Diggs running a deep in route. Like if you throw the football towards the sideline, you get an like you give Diggs a chance to run underneath the football, get
Yep.
there, get out of bounds. Huge play. You take the crowd out of it. It's immediately after halftime. Who knows what happens at that point, right?
100%.
Doesn't do it. The pass that he throws was to Deontay Hardy, who's being guarded by somebody just as fast as him and has him probably by like 4 or 5 inches. Height wise, it's nasty because Josh doesn't take the chances that he should, and the chances that he shouldn't take, those are the ones that he takes, and it
Yep.
and they're leading to and this particular time it led to an interception. He's done a very good job this year of taking care of the football. Um, Actually, no, not taking care of the football. He's done a very good job of limiting his turnover worthy plays.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes.
he still has turned the ball over. He's at I think he's at 10 now interceptions.
Yep.
Either 9 or 10. And oh, there goes June.
There he
Uh how's
is.
third how's third place treating you, sir?
I
Anyway,
was wondering if Drew was gonna show himself after that brilliant
yeah,
6-point performance against the Chargers on
it's
Monday night.
it's a lot of stairs. It's a lot of stairs to get out of the basement. So I get it. It took some time. No problem. But yeah, like some of those chances that Josh doesn't take, they hurt us. And then there's some chance that he takes that he shouldn't,
Mm,
and those hurt us as well. But
yep.
the way you fix that is the play caller has to design plays
Mhm.
that optimize what Josh can do and what he wants to do. So,
Yep.
for instance, if you know on first and second down that Josh has a propensity to take chances, take those chances away from him. You say, "This is what we're running. This is what you're doing." And then we'll move on. When we need you to be great, we will tell you to be great. And that is on third down most of the time. We're going to need you to make a play. That's it. That's it. Protect Josh from Josh.
Mhm.
Sometimes that is the answer. Um,
The other thing that gets magnified too is we haven't when's the last time we created a turnover? Is it the
I would
Miami
have said
game, if I remember correctly?
yes,
So,
yes,
that
yes,
again, not to pin it all on Josh, but we could usually get away with a Josh turnover when we're creating a turnover too, right? And we're not doing that either. Again, I'm not trying to blame the defense on any particular because like we've talked about, they've played valiantly considering who's been out, but the fact that we're not, getting that big
right.
turnover, fumble recovery or an interception is magnifying that it magnified that interception we had on Sunday night even more so to me. And something we have to find a way to get turnovers.
100%. And the way you do it is the way we have to do it is lean on the pass rush. I I didn't like that we blitzed so much because it felt like the blitz, like the lanes that the guys were blitzing through, kind of hindered our pass for our four, our defensive linemen from working those areas of the field. Like I think a guy like Rousseau and and Oliver, they need a little space, to get their moves together. But we that was the decision he made. The outcome is what it is. I don't. We're not happy about it. But we will move on to Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey, sir, your play designs are bad. Okay, they're unimaginative. They're boring and they're easily countered by good defensive coaches. Um, Now there are times where he'll dial something up, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, Ken, I see
Mm-hmm.
you." But more often than not, man, it's mistakes. 3rd and 2, critical down, critical distance. We're in shotgun, and he's throwing the ball downfield. Why?
Why? Why?
You have Latavius Murray line up under center, hike the football, hand it to him, let him run behind Osiris Torrance, Cybo, or whatever they call him, and or let him run behind Spencer Brown. He's gonna fall forward and get 2 yards anyway. Just do that, man. Get a new set it down. Let us keep cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the up tempo, amazing. We need to do more of it more often.
I think.
The up tempo was really good.
Don't you feel Josh is more comfortable in that kind of offense? Just
I do.
and it's not that he doesn't have a good football IQ per se. It's just I feel like that just gets him in such a rhythm, and where other teams can't adjust to us. And it's also going to
Right.
help when we don't
That's
have the
fair.
great
That's fair.
exotic play caller we do in Dorsey, right? We might as well go up tempo at this point. But we have to we have to lean on, and we'll see if Lombardi Lenny makes a difference going forward, right? We'll see if he can contribute to the running game, or if we can mix him and James Cook in just to get a little more balance. And we have to do that,
Right.
especially as the weather gets colder now. The weather on Monday, they're saying 50 degrees, 18-mile-an-hour winds with some rain. I mean, here we go, Whittle, right? Not to say it's going to be a nasty game. That's the high for the day on Monday, right? So, at night it's going to be a little
Oh my
cold, it's going to be a
gosh.
little raw, right? It's not going to be your perfect
Just a
weather
little
game.
bit.
So now, it's not
Yeah.
going to be optimal conditions just to toss the ball all over the yard, so to speak. So we got to start balancing this out right now. So that's been my theme all week, and I'm sticking to it.
That's fair. Uh just so mad, bro. Like I'm disappointed. I can't even say mad. I'm disappointed. The way we
Mhm.
used Gabe Davis last week and the rest of the guys on this team, like I thought that we were headed in the direction of figuring this stuff out.
Mhm.
Because clearly we are not.
How about something
Um,
this to think about, Whittle? Last 3 games, Gabe Davis, 19 targets, 10 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown, and Khalil Shakir, 14 targets, 14 catches for a buck 84. Are we starting to see? I mean, it's only a small sample size, but are we getting to the point where we're going to trust Shakir more than Gabe Davis at this going forward, second half of the year?
yes, because he spent the last few plays uh on the bench. He got benched. His effort wasn't there. Gabe Davis is clearly upset about something. I think he's upset that he's not getting an extension. And so help me God, if you guys at One Bills Drive re-sign Gabriel Davis to a multi-year contract, it is tar and feathers waiting for you in the streets. You understand me, Brandon Bean? Do you understand me? Do you understand me, Coach McDermott? This is what you have to look forward to if you re-sign Gabe Davis.
Everyone
I
listening, make
want
sure
to.
to check on Whittle if Gabe Davis gets extended.
I'm already in the car. Listen,
Yeah.
I need to make sure that everything else that we have going on is legit. But bro, the offense is just God, it's dreadful. It's been dreadful. It's been dreadful for the last 3 4 weeks, man. But nevertheless, let's get back on Dorsey's neck because that's where these issues come from. June, if you think that we're not making the playoffs, I mean, Come on, dude.
He's been at it. So
Yeah, he's trolling. He's definitely trolling. Um,
we appreciate you listening, June.
yeah, and you're and June, you're a hater too. But it's all right. We still love you, brother.
We do.
Um,
Yes.
I don't know, man. I mean, I want to be optimistic, but I know the truth. I know what it really is. So
Mhm.
why be optimistic in something that I'm certain is gonna fail?
Well,
Uh,
it's very hard right now, Whittle. Right? There's so many things going on. Right? It's not just Ken Dorsey. It's the overall health of our defense. We have so many issues right on that side of the ball. Right? I know a lot of fans here say, "Well, we were 7-6 in 2021 under Brian Dable, and look what happened." But that team was exponentially more healthy. I mean, there's no comparison. We lost Trey White, yes, but
yeah,
beyond that, we had everybody in place, right? We had
and
a coach,
and
you know,
also the teams that we were facing during that run, like they weren't good teams either at the time. So we just kind of
yeah,
ran through them.
yeah. I mean, now look at, I mean, our schedule is just so difficult. I mean, to me right now, Whittle, this season is just we just got to take it one week at a time. I know it's a cliche, but
Right.
I mean, if we haven't been reminded that this is a week to week league, we have in 2023. I mean, look around the league; it's
Mhm.
not just us, right? I mean, look,
Right.
we're the San Francisco. Not to make this about the other teams, but look at San Francisco. Look at some of these other teams that fell off the top. I mean, people were anointing Miami, right? And then Miami's can't beat a team over 500, right? They're sitting at 6-3. Like nobody saw Baltimore coming out of nowhere, right? So there's all
Right.
kinds of movement going on right now. So really, the best thing for us is just these next 2 weeks. We have to win these two games. I mean, there's no way around it, in my opinion. We talked about this at nauseum, Whittle. We have 4 home games left. If you look at the home games we have, they're all winnable. We have to sweep the board at home. If we do that and be relatively okay on the road, we still have a good chance to win the AFC East because we control our destiny with that last game at Miami. If we beat them and tie them, we take the division. So
Right.
that's
Too bad we
not.
play each other again,
Mm-hmm,
bro. We are gonna cook the Lakers. We're gonna cook the Celtics. We're gonna cook the Bills, and we're gonna cook the Jets. We're gonna cook all the teams who are underperforming at this very moment right now. Okay,
mm-hmm,
and let's start. The Jets are one of those teams. The Buffalo Bills offense, one of those teams. The Celtics went out there and got beat by the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm sorry. They have really one good. They have one player that's really good, and he's a dog, and everybody loves him. But
mm-hmm.
you don't lose to that team.
No, you
We
don't.
did it. Yeah, we did it. So where do we go from here, right? Uh, and this is what I think. This is where we go from here. The next 3 weeks we have we have the Eagles, we have the Jets, and we have this Denver game. Uh, if we don't win, if we don't win these next two games, somebody got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to go. Now, if it's one of those situations where it was fluky, somebody did this and this happened, whatever. I'm not worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go out there against these teams and their defense out executes our offense, somebody has to lose their job. They have to. These weapons are too good when used properly. They're too good. Somebody's got to go.
Do you,
My vote
do
is
you
on Ken
feel?
Dorsey. I mean, it's nothing
Mhm,
personal, but I think you're out of your depth, my guy. I think you're out of your depth.
mhm. Whittle, do you feel some of
Go ahead,
Josh
Brian.
Allen
My
and
fault.
I'm sorry. No, no, you're good. Some of McDermott and Allen comments recently have been taken, not jabs, but I feel like they're sort of hinting at Dorsey a little bit, but they're not. Of course, they're never going to directly come out and say it, but I feel like it's starting to
Right.
happen, right? So I sense it.
Well, I'll say this. Usually, what happens is McDermott will go out there. He'll stand in front of he'll stand in front of the guns and take all of the bullets for his coaches and players. Right. I've never seen him since he's been a head coach or whatever. Never seen him throw somebody under the bus, and that's exactly what he did this weekend. He threw Ken Dorsey to the wolves, and that's fine because he kind of deserves it. But it's still funny that
Absolutely.
It's just still funny, bro. June, you're like June. Oh, okay. Let's address. Like, I'm gonna address this now. The Jets are terrible. You guys told me all off season that your offensive line was fixed. You told me that you weren't worried about that. You told me that your wide receivers were better, your pass catchers were better than the Buffalo Bills. I told you were crazy, and you gave me names. You and the rest of the Jet fans, you guys gave me names like Mecole Hardman and Jeremy Ruckert and CJ Uzama and Garrett Wilson and whoever else. Bro, what have you done? What weapons? You want to know what weapons? Gabriel Davis is a weapon. He'd go to your team and be your number 2 immediately. He would supplant anybody else over there. He would get more targets probably than Garrett Wilson.
Maybe the Jets go out and sign him to a lucrative contract this offseason, Whittle. Right?
Oh, please do it. Please do it. We'll take a 3rd round comp pick and keep it pushing. But in all seriousness, though, where do we go from here? The offense needs to be run through Stephon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid, and Khalil Shakir. Josh Allen is a target thrower. He's not a spot thrower. Joe Burrow's a spot thrower. Joe Burrow will read the route and he will toss the ball to where the receiver is going to be. Josh Allen is a target thrower. So he's going to survey the field, and whoever's open, he's putting it on you wherever you are. So don't move too far. Don't move too much. Prepare yourself. The ball's coming in hot. And I think the offense, it works fine that way. We gotta run the football more. That's the other thing. 8 carries to the running backs is unacceptable. It really is. In an NFL game, 8 carries to the running backs is unacceptable. You got to run the football more. And stop running that stupid ass draw play. I'm sorry for cursing. I'm just tired.
Okay.
Like, I'm tired of that play, bro.
Yeah.
Stop running. It's dumb. It's a dumb play.
Yep. Patrick, who's in our group chat, he talked about it too. Happy 21st, Patrick. Just wanted to throw that out there. But he talks about how we used to run, like, we're not running Cook outside anymore, right, Whittle? Like, it feels like we're not. I feel like Cook was very effective running the outside, and we're just not doing that right now. And I just, for the life of me, can't figure out why.
Where's the pin and pull?
Yeah, where's the pin and pull? Exactly. Where is it? It dissipated in the thin air. And it's not like the line is not playing poorly, right? It's not like we have major injuries on our line, thank goodness.
No, the line's playing great.
Yeah, Deion Dawkins played excellent. Yeah, he's been, Deion Dawkins has been Dawkins. Like, there have been no injuries in that respect. I mean, no issues.
June, nobody's putting a Jets background on this Coast to Coast show. Not happening. Get out of here. All right. And we're gonna beat the Jets, so be quiet. Like, dude, we're gonna beat the Jets.
We'll table that all next week. So we'll get June involved in somehow in those friendly wagers.
Jet fans. Where were you guys at on Monday night against the Chargers? Where was this energy? Should have
Nowhere
spent
to be
more
found.
time typing up plays than you do typing up responses. Anyway, um, yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I honestly, beyond, I feel like I'm kind of dragging this out right now, but um,
hmm
I just feel like Dorsey's got to run the offense through those three key guys now.
hmm
Don Kincaid, Stephon Diggs, and Khalil Shakir. Um, let's try to push the ball down the field. Starting now, can we
hmm
do that? Let's start pushing the ball down the field. Take some shots, but don't take just stupid shots where okay, just run a 9 route and we'll throw it and hopefully you win. No,
hmm
let me get some creativity. Okay, let me
hmm
get something where you're flooding an area and making a linebacker or a corner or a safety, make them make a decision on who they want to cover. You need to be sending three guys into areas that are covered by two guys. That's
hmm
it. You start doing that, you put and things will change and things will turn around. Things will turn around. I'm just
It's just incredible how this has all changed so quickly in a month, right? I mean, last month we were 4-1, we're humming along,
mhm.
right? We were looking like the best
Couple of
team.
losses, man.
Yeah, and well, the big losses, of course, with Milano and Trey, and then it just kept going from there in the London game. So, listen, if we could just win the next couple games, Eagle game, we'll see how we're looking when we get to that point, and get to that bye week, right? And see who's coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I probably I'm going. I know you said go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You were saying?
No, I was saying like we got to win these games, man.
Mm-hmm.
We
So,
have to
well,
win
we got
these games.
yep. It's all about Monday night right now. That's it. That's all we should be focused on right now. Just in this team's gonna be put to the test. We hear about the culture, we hear about the process, right? We hear about how good this locker room is and how good everything is in that locker room. I mean, we're up against it right now. This has been one of the longest stretches we've had of pretty poor play, especially on offense in a long time. So we're really gonna put it to the test.
Let's do it.
So what are you feeling about Monday night?
Uh, Denver's a terrible team. They have some weapons. They got some talent over there, but I don't. It's still Denver. They haven't proven anything. But
Mm-hmm.
their head coach is Sean Payton, and honestly, I think Sean Payton's a hell of a coach. So, um, what am I thinking here? I can't just outright give it to Buffalo right now. I don't believe. I don't believe. I don't believe the offense is fixed, and that's what we need. We need the offense to be fixed.
Yep. Now, this Denver defense was pretty maligned early, but like we said, the last few weeks they have been playing a
They
lot
settled
better.
in
Now,
well.
those were two division
Yep.
games. You know how division games are, right? They could always be,
True.
very interesting in that respect. You don't get a
Yeah.
good gauge of how it really is, right? So
Yeah. Once every lunar moon, we lose to the Jets in the regular season. Once every
I'm
lunar
sure
moon, that's what happens.
I'm sure June had heard that loud and clear. But
Yeah.
Denver had this week off. That's one thing I'm not crazy about.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't
Extra
know
week
how
to
much that
prepare.
fixes them or not, but I don't know where this team's headspace is. They are coming off that big win, against Kansas City. Like we said, Russell's been playing well. They still got good weapons. Running game is fairly solid. I mean, I still think we should be
Mhm.
able to contain that. Linvale Joseph, by the way, Whittle. I know it was just a
Huge
few little
addition.
snapshots, but I'm liking that
Huge
addition.
addition.
So I think we get a little. I think we get some Lenny this week. I think we get maybe 5 to 7 carries out of him.
It better
I
not
think
be
he's.
5 to 7 carries. It better be more than that. We
I'm
need to run
hoping
the
so.
football, man. Beyond, we need to run the football. We need to turn to
Oh,
a
you're right. I'm just.
55 to 45 team. We got to run it.
Yeah.
This is what bothers me with Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey doesn't set his plays up for later. Doesn't set anything up for later.
No, he doesn't.
So
Yeah.
if I know that I'm getting ready to go and I'm getting ready to go so I'm going somewhere with my outfit that nobody has ever seen before, right? When I get there, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh wow, where'd you get that from?" I can tell you where I got it from, but I can't tell you how much it costs. I can't divulge that information. Where am I going with this? At first I didn't know, but I'm gonna tie it in like this. Dorsey has to set his stuff up later. He has to have a plan. He doesn't have one.
No.
So because he doesn't have a plan, this is something that Mookie says all the time. The defenses are not playing. They're not scheming against Josh. They're scheming against Ken. Scheming against Ken. In my opinion, he's holding us back. So if I show up and I'm fresh, I got a fresh. Like my shirt is crazy. Like my shirt is crazy. My jeans are crazy. My sneakers are crazy. Right. Everything is, I went. I got the drip on. I got it on. If it doesn't match, like if it doesn't match, what am I doing? I can't show up to a formal dinner with a tracksuit on and some nice sneakers. I can't do it.
Yep.
That's what Dorsey's doing. He's showing up to these games, just doing stuff. There's no plan in the play calling. He's just calling plays to be calling them. And the team is hurting because of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain plays where we have 3 wide receivers in the same area, right? And then the 4th receiver's at the bottom, and the whole middle of the field, there's not a single bill anywhere. I mean, that's not, and it happens more than once. It's not just, I mean, of course, that happens once in a while, right? Guys run wrong routes and stuff, but in this case, it's way too often. And I got to.
He doesn't even, bro. He doesn't. Beyond, he doesn't even set up his players to be successfully used properly, right? Like Gabe Davis is not a guy that can win down the field consistently. So get the ball, but he is big. You can't teach 6'2", 228. So just get the ball in his hands and let him be a bowling ball and a guy that's tough to tackle. Kincaid's great. His hands are amazing.
Yes.
Throw him the football wherever you can. Have him exploit the seam. Have him go right down the middle of the field, right behind those linebackers. Hit him with an 18 to 20 yard game where he just runs up and stops, and you just Josh fire it in there, right? And move on.
We need to
if you
take the
want to
training
run, yes. And if you want to run a flea flicker, how about taking some of the action used in the flea flicker and put it on film in other games? That was such a bad play call.
Yeah.
In my opinion, bad play call. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at right now, Beyond. I want us to win Sunday. Monday, excuse me. Monday night. I want us to
We're
win
playing
Monday
all
night.
different times of the week, Whittle. I know we don't have our Sunday games anymore like we used to.
Right. I want us to win Monday night. I want us to beat the Jets. I want to believe that the offense can figure itself out and we can go into Philly and get up on them quick. We can get up 17-7 or whatever, and then force them to play our game where they're dropping back with Hurts and trying to throw the ball all over the yard. Um, I just have no faith. I have no faith that it's going to get done. I'm still a huge Bills fan. I still love them. I have no faith.
You know, a lot of sports is mental, right? Whittle, we talk about it all the time, right? The Bills right now just they don't. I don't feel like they have that swagger, right? That confidence, right? And I feel like this is a perfect night where maybe they can get that back a little bit, right? Like even against Tampa, we started to get that swagger back, and look, we had to hold on to win the game, right?
Right.
Like we really need a 20-something point win here. I feel like to get that confidence level back, right?
Right.
But I'm with you. I just don't know if we have the personnel and defense to hold teams down. I mean, again, they're playing valiant, but I mean, would you be surprised if Russell Wilson threw for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns on Monday night? I wouldn't.
Not on this defense. No, I
No.
wouldn't.
Yeah, let's be fair. And I know they're trying and they're giving it, because with all these different replacement players, you got to dumb down the playbook a little bit, just for lack of a better word, right? You got to simplify the playbook is a better term, right? And it's difficult. McDermott maybe can't do the normal things he wants to do as a defensive coordinator, right? With guys shuffling in and out of the lineup. So, but I'm with you. We need this offense to cook. We need, start to finish drives and dominate. But I just don't have that confidence right now.
I want to. You know what I want to see on Monday? The whole first half, shotgun, no huddle, up tempo, throw the ball all over the place, handing it off to Cook or Murray, and just letting them kind of plunge forward to get a few yards.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, I want this offense to get out of its own way. I want Gabe Davis to get the ball early and often in areas where he's comfortable with catching the football and can use his strength against corners that are smaller. Khalil Shakir shook the Cincinnati slot corner. I think his name is Mike Hilton. And I mean, I don't know if he's recovered yet from that move because Shakir shook him out of the screen. He shook him out of the television screen. It was disgusting. But Shakir is one of them ones that can get open in a phone booth. And that's what I want to see. I want to see up tempo, shotgun, empty sets, or one running back or even two running backs are back there protecting Josh. And let's cook, man. Let's cook. What are your thoughts, Beyond?
Now listen, June's on fire right now. All he wanted to hear is we're faithless, right, in our team, right? But I'm gonna say this, right? Just a little revisionist history. He mentioned Jim Kelly, right? I remember those Super Bowl years vividly, right? Old enough to remember them. They had some moments, couple weeks. I remember one time they lost to the Raiders 20-3, right? I remember when they lost to the 4-12 Jets at home 24-17. These are Super Bowl years I'm talking, right? And they look lifeless. But you know what happened?
It's embarrassing.
There'd be one win, but there'd be one win where they would turn it around, right? And sometimes they get that mojo back, right? And then, the locker, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the Bills are in that mode. I mean, you saw it on Josh Allen's face. I've never seen Josh Allen look so down since he's been here, right? Have you ever seen that look on his face? I haven't, right? They're making memes out of it and stuff like that. I mean, even I did. But we could still, having said that, if we could just find a way to cook Monday night and get that mojo back. And again, we're going to have a tough one against the Jets and their defense the next week, right? We'll get to that next week. It could turn things around mentally for us.
We're going to punch the Jets in the mouth.
But as far as Monday night goes, Whittle, I can't in my conscience pick. I mean, the Bills are favored by 7.5. I mean, for all you bettors out there, I couldn't lay those points right now. I don't think the Bills right now are in a spot where they're gonna blow teams out. I mean, I'm predicting us to win, but just by 3 points. I think 27-24. I think we just get out of this with a win. I can't, in my conscience, envision 42-17. I can't see it in my head right now. And again, it's not. I still think we could turn things around a little, but the odds are much, much lower than they were, let's say, about a month ago. But that's my official prediction for Monday night. 27-24 Bills. Let's get to 6-4 and move on. Bring on the Jets.
Bro, this team is stressing me out, bro. This offense is stressing me out, too. It's stressing me out.
The picture was worth 1,000 little. Yeah, it's all over your face right now.
Bro, we have so many. And what bothers me is like, I wouldn't say that our weapons are the greatest because they're not, but they're good enough to score 30 a game. And we just aren't doing it. But anyway, we're winding down. Score prediction. I got Buffalo winning this game. I'm going to say 41-16 Buffalo.
Oh, you're
41-16 Buffalo.
Little does have faith there, June. You didn't think he did, but yeah.
Yeah, I have faith in my team. They've given me reason to have faith in my team. I can't say the same for you, June. Listen, remember 2021, we were sitting at 7-6 and we didn't lose another game. So we need to get to 11 wins at least.
Yep.
We need to do that.
And that path is still realistic, Will. It's going to take, but our margin for error is very small. That's the difference now than a few weeks ago.
So let me ask you this. I like this stuff with June. June, y'all lost. Y'all got smoked by the Chargers. You're in third place. You guys were in second place for about 5 minutes. And here you are back in the basement, acting real basementy. Stop that. You're a hater.
We love you, June.
Beyond, you got anything else for the people, man? Anything else for the people?
That's right. And be here next week.
No. I'm asking, do you have anything else for the people, brother?
Oh, do I have anything else? No, I think, like I said, my entire focus is Denver this Monday night. I mean, we talked a lot about the schedule, and looking ahead is not an option right now, right? Again, if we were in a much better position, 7-2 or, whichever, 8-1 even, of course we could look ahead. But right now, it's all about Monday night. Let's just get a W and let's stay relatively healthy too. Would be nice as well. So,
realistically, how many wins do you think this team can get? I'll go first.
Go for it.
I think 11. I think 11 is the floor. 11 is the floor. Anything less than 11 is way too dicey.
I would love to think 12, but if we were 6-3, I'd say 12. But I think 12 is going to be a tough get with this schedule. I think 11 is probably realistic at this point as well. Again, this is assuming
I'm actually gonna. I'm actually not. I actually believe 12 is possible. It just requires the offense to get some points. That's all. It just requires the offense to start scoring. So give me Denver, the Patriots, the Jets, and the Dolphins. That's Denver, and the rest of our conference games or our division games wins.
This is all predicated. Yeah. Listen, we've been the best home team since 2020, right? We're over 82% at home, I believe. So it's all about the home games. We sweep the board at home, which is not going to be easy, just to let June know. All right, and the others know it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to
Oh,
be easy,
forget Joe.
but we could do
Joe
it.
said they were
Right?
going to beat the Chargers. We don't listen to
Yeah,
Joe.
and if we do that, that's 9 wins. See, of the road games, can we get 2? And especially one of those 2 being in South Florida against the Dolphins. Right?
I don't fear the Dolphins at all. I think I don't
Yeah.
care
So
where
that
I don't care where the game is played. I think we'll beat the Dolphins anywhere with this
and
defense.
and that
Um,
gives us 6 losses, and Miami already has 3. They may split with the Jets, right? They still got to go to Baltimore, right? That's 5. That's I
well,
guess on the 5
yeah,
losses that's 6. So there's the path to the
yeah.
AFC East right
The Dolphins don't want to lose any more games. They want to try to win out. They don't want to lose 2 more games. But I'll say, yeah. So if we take the teams that we should beat on our schedule and count them as wins, that would be the Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Broncos. That's 4 wins. That gets us to 9. Now
now.
you got Philly, KC, Dallas, and
The
the
Chargers.
Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Dallas is the
How is
only Dallas is the only home game
Mm-hmm.
out of those games. Now, typically we play Kansas City very, very well. We're
Mm-hmm.
very good on the road with them.
Yep.
You just gotta win 2 of those games. I think I think it's possible.
It's going to be difficult, but it is still, again, if this offense can fix itself, if they could just get more consistent. And again, I think the things we're asking for, Whittle, are not that unreasonable.
They're not.
They're not. That's the thing. Then that's what, we're not asking for miracles from a backup quarterback here. We're not, we have things in place. Like
Right.
it's just about execution. It's just about confidence level. It's about, and don't forget, after our bye, we may see some players start coming back, right? Maybe Daquan Jones comes back. Who knows with Matt Milano where he is at this point? We just don't
Supposed
know
to
right
be
now. So if those guys come back, we could have a completely different outlook on those games that we thought we were going to lose. We may win those with almost our full deck. So that's why
right.
it's all about this week and next week. If we win those 2 games, Jets, Denver, get through them no matter what. I don't care how ugly it is, and it's going to be ugly against the Jets. We know that already because their defense is real. Let's be fair, right? It's 7-4. Let's take our shots.
You talking about Miami's defense
No, Jets.
or Denver's defense?
Jets. No, the
Oh, the
Jets
Jets.
defense.
Oh,
Yeah.
forget the Jets. Their offense stinks.
Yeah.
They're gonna come to Buffalo and run into a bus. You're gonna come to Buffalo and run into a buzzsaw, guys. Sorry, that's what's gonna
Let's
happen.
go.
Yeah, you're gonna come to
We'll definitely
Buffalo and
get
you're
into
gonna run
that
into a
next week.
buzzsaw. So
We'll definitely
for sure,
we'll have a lively show next week with the Jets for sure. Let's again, this is
absolutely,
assuming we get it done on Monday night.
absolutely. So assuming we get it done on Monday night against the Denver Broncos, that's going to determine whether or not we have this podcast, right? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
If we lose Monday night, are we starting our 2024 draft preview a little bit earlier than expected next week? Are we diving into that a little bit earlier than we expected? Right?
we actually have already. There's some moves that the team is making to kind of mitigate some of these losses, but it's not nothing's concrete yet. So I'm gonna wait until I know for sure before I say something
Absolutely.
about it. But yeah, like we here, and we're gonna be here. We're gonna keep doing this, and
oh yeah,
and man, I can't wait to finish. I can't wait to get back on the field and play again because that was tough. That loss was tough because I thought we were better. I thought we would perform better in that spot, but McDermott's fine. He's a great coach. He knows how to adjust, and I don't think we did a bad job on those receivers. And we'll see them again eventually. Just like we hope to see everybody that is watching or will watch later. Whoever you are, wherever you are, thank you for tuning in with us. Yeah,
Yep.
go
Thank you to
Bills.
everyone out there. Yep. Go Bills. Keep liking and subscribing to the podcast. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you same time, same place next week.
Amen. All right. This is Coast to Coast, baby, signing off.
Have a good night, Will.